Welcome to the Foolkiller Homecoming, also known as the Foolkiller, well, I don't know, we call it several things. The 54th anniversary. The name kept changing. I don't know, we just kept changing our mind. The reason it's a 54th anniversary is we planned on doing a 50th anniversary, and if you do the math, the 50th anniversary was on 2020. So not much happened in 2020, including the Foolkiller 50th anniversary. And since we're all old and retired, that means we can really get together and do things quickly. So it only took us 4 years to put this together. But what we're going to do now is we're going to have open mics. Anybody that wants to add their name to the open mic, you do not have to do a song. You can come up and tell a bad joke, tell a story, say what Foolkiller means to you, or whatever, as part of your open mic situation. And I forgot to put your name down, but I want to add your name to the list, Virgil.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you're number 8, because I forgot to come to you first. That's, no, you don't have to take your socks off. That's all right. You have enough fingers. It'll be okay. Anyway, we're going to start with my good friend Carl here, who reminded me that we saw each other back in 2015. So here we are getting together again. And I'll let Carl introduce what he's going to do. And Carl, the time limit is 10 minutes, and that's a hard 13 minutes too.
All right, well, thank you. Not really sure why my mama named me Carl, but when I heard Carl Perkins, then I thought, well, that's not a bad name. But so my band teacher was in the Vietnam War, and first thing he did when he got to Vietnam is he went and found the chaplain and played piano for him. And the chaplain took him out of infantry. Unfortunately, the helicopter was hit with an RPG and he fell 200 feet into a rice paddy. So my early experience was with a music teacher who said in the 19th century, "Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die," was the punchline to every chorus. So anyway, since we're in turbulent times and territory, I'm going to go with the songs from the Little Red Songbook, and this is Joe Hill's Last Will, and I got the idea from a Scottish balladeer who did it on 12-string, so I don't do it justice to what he does, but here it is. My will is easy to describe. There ain't nothing to divide. My kin don't need to fuss and moan. Moss don't cling to a rolling stone. Will my body hold if I could? Wood to ashes if reduced, and let the merry breezes blow. But dust somewhere, some flowers grow. Perhaps some faded flowers in want to life and bloom again. This is my last and final will. Good luck to all of you, Joe Hill. Now this was a little tricky to play. I had my neck fused about 15 years ago and had to learn to play again. And that's when I came across the Little Red Songbook. We met Judy Ansell during Occupy, and so we started coming up to Heartland Labor Forum and seeing how she produces shows, and we met Bill, and met Bob and Diane, and Jeff Humsfeld, Jeff's runner somewhere, and so that's kind of where the process began, and so we're in the IWW. We go to we try to make a convention just about every year, so we hit book fairs and things like that, and so we have a pretty good network of abolitionist friends. So this song goes back to 1820, Northern England, and it's Blackleg Minor, which was actually like maybe on the Billboard charts a few years ago. There was a band out of Montana called the Decemberists, and that was named after the Decemberist Revolution in Russia of 1838 or something. And I think they're living in Seattle now because the toilets were freezing in Montana. Okay, so this is Blackleg Minor. Well, it's an evening after dark. The black-legged miner goes to work with his black paper coat and his birdie shirt. There goes the black-legged miner. Well, he grabs his shirt and down he goes to hew that coal that lies below. There's not a woman in this town row that'll look at the black-legged miner. Old Delhi is a terrible place to rub black coal in the black-legged's face. To throw the free and turn the face of the black-legged miner. Don't go near the Sick Hill mine, cross the way they toe the line. Break the neck and snap the spine of the dirty black-legged miner. So join the union while you may, don't wait till your dying day. That might be too far away, you dirty black-legged miner. That's a rough one. I had not played that one before, so I'm balancing without a net here. So now this one's a little more familiar. There was a guy from Chicago named Warren Zevon, and he had a song about Iran-Contra called "Lawyers, Guns, and Money," and it pretty much became a meme. And I'm going through the Little Red Songbook, and there's songs that really didn't have melodies to them or really any chord progressions or anything to go off of. And so I thought, well, this is kind of a country rock kind of thing. So this is called Mayday. Mayday, Mayday, that's the real workers' day. Mayday history tells you, don't give your luck away. Don't hang out with the bosses. Stick liberty up your arses. We'll look sweet when we take the streets in the beautiful month of May. In the beautiful month of May. In the beautiful month of May. Mayday, Mayday, that's a real workers' day. Mayday. Don't give your day away. Don't hang out with the bosses. Take your way away. Stick living your verses. We'll look sweet when we take the street in the glorious month of May. In the glorious month of May. In the glorious month of May. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl. Yeah, I got to look at the watch and realize we got started a little late, so I'm just going to kind of rush it just a tiny bit. He referred to the Little Red Songbook. If those who don't know it, it's the songbook that came with the Industrial Workers of the World, and it was called the Little Red Songbook, R-E-D, to fan the flames of discontent. Charlie King put out his own songbook called the Little Red Songbook, R-E-A-D, to inflame the fans of discontent. So Charlie's a pretty clever guy. Georgia, are you in the house? She is not. So we're gonna hear another Union tune, I believe, from our very own John Goodrick. Yay, John.
I used to, proud memories, I guess, were riding on the hod carrier's float during the Labor Day parades, and had my 12-string guitar that was Martha's at one time, and it was just one of the songs we'd sing. There once was the Union maid who never was afraid of the goons and the ginks and the company finks. The deputy sheriff who made the raid, she went to the Union Hall when a meeting it was called. And when the deputy sheriff came round, she always stood her ground. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Till the day I die. This Union maid was wise to the tricks the company spies. She'd never be fooled by the company's tools. She always organized the guys. She always got her pay. When she struck for higher pay, she'd show her card to the National Guard. This is what she'd say. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Till the day I die. A woman's life is hard, even with the Union card. She's got to stand on her own 2 feet, not be a servant to the male elite. It's time to take a stand. Keep working hand in hand. There is a job that's got to be done, a fight that's got to be won. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Till the day I die.
So I didn't hear the introduction. For those that you don't know, that song was written to the tune of Red Wing, which is an old fiddle tune. Oh, the sun shines bright on pretty little red wing. But Woody Guthrie decided it could be put to better purposes than that. And so Georgia Shaw. Georgia, oh, there she is. She snuck up on me. So Georgia's going to tell us a little bit about her adventures in Alaska. So you don't have to sing a song to get up here and be on the open mic. And let me make a couple of announcements while I'm here. There is a table out there by KKFI, for KKFI Radio. They are currently in the pledge drive. And I counted up the other day, and when KKFI, over the years since KKFI has been on the air, there's been 8 different people that were back in the old Foolkiller days that have done shows on KKFI. So, you know, the cultural activity of our organization didn't die, it just became broadcast on radio. And so, yeah. So, Georgia, you want to come tell us about yourself?
That's okay.
Okay. Georgia, we had a number of communal houses back in the day where several families would get together and take turns cooking dinner and split the expenses and that. And one of them was Georgia's over in the Pendleton area, and her house is always referred to as the White House. So I've been drunk at her house many times. Just I know you wanted to know that, but.
He wants me over there. So, can you pass this? Would
Were you not going to tell the story about your friends coming out from underneath the kitchen?
No, I got that. Thank you so much. Hi. Hi, everybody. We're up there. Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. I'm Georgia Shaw-Holden. I left Kansas City in 1979, and there were a few other people that left about the same time. But I was part of the Foolkiller till then, and I wasn't going to say anything about the White House, but I'm guilty and I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. It was a life I was leading. Anyway, so I left Kansas City in 1979, and my dad had been ill, and he was staying with me. And I said, Dad, I'm going to Alaska. And he said, you've always said you're going. Yeah. So we went. 2 weeks later, he and I were on the road to Alaska. And he traveled with me. Yes, he was still sick, but he had a wonderful time. And so did I. So at any rate, in Kansas City, down here in Kansas City, I was on a slippery slope and sliding fast, and I needed to leave. To straighten out my life, I had some grief things, terrible things that happened to me here, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Plus, I was on the wrong road. So I went on up to Alaska, traveled the Alcan to Anchorage, and a beautiful winter. We had a beautiful winter in Anchorage and Eagle River with lots of moose who are not very nice a lot of the time, and they're just beautiful, huge creatures with all these antlers. I'm telling you that I was so impressed, but I really wanted to see them from a distance because they were pretty aggressive. And if we hit them on the way to Anchorage from Eagle River, and I worked in the hospital there, it was all over. You didn't make it to the hospital. So I felt like Anchorage was too big, so my dad went with me. We went to Sitka, and I applied at both places, both hospitals, and I went to work at Mount Edgecombe Hospital, which was the Native Health Corporation. And so I got to know beautiful Native Americans that were Alaska Natives, truly. And they were quiet people, always still are. Quiet people, peace-loving people, and I just can't tell you how wonderful that was. Well, maybe a few months after I got there, I met a man by the name of Dave, and he was in the Coast Guard, and he had brought the wood rush up, had been refurbished from the, I think it was the Great Lakes. Yes, it was, because my dad was there. And it had been an icebreaker, and it was refurbished to become a buoy tender, so he was in the Coast Guard. He had brought it all the way around from the East Coast, from New Jersey. And I met him, and I thought he was kind of a really crabby person. We were hiking, I was hiking with a guy up Verstovia, and that's why I look like this now, because Verstovia was unbelievable, and I thought I might die, and I sort of wished I would. But anyway, Dave and this guy and I traveled up the mountain to the top of Verstovia, and we got, all the way to the top, and I found out, and Dave found out, that this guy was carrying raw halibut in the back of his backpack. Is that a stupid thing to do? Yes, it was frozen, but who cares? It got hot right away. I had heard something in the bushes or the timber there, and I smelled this horrible smell, and I knew that I was walking by a brown bear, or it was walking by me. But I didn't say anything. I was so terrified. I had bells, bear bells. What a stupid thing. I don't even know if we had mace back then. But anyway, so we got to the top, and I still hadn't told him anything, and we cooked up the halibut, and it was so beautiful up there. I have pictures of down over into the water down below. It was beautiful. But we had to go back down that trail. And this darn guy was ADHD, would not throw his backpack away. He had to carry it back down the mountain, and it smelled horrible of halibut. What is that going to do? Well, anyway, so the bear started kind of following us, and Dave and I both caught wind of it and could smell it. Oh, my Lord. And he yelled at the guy, and he said, we're going down through the Devil's Club. And I don't know if any of you know Devil's Club. It's horrible. It has big stickers like this, needles that are going to harm you forever. And I still thought Dave was really crabby, but I was gonna go with it. And he said, no, you're not going first. George is gonna go in between the two of us. I'll take up the rear. What a nice guy. I was like, this guy's pretty nice after all. So anyway, he and I got together and we married and bought a float house, which might be floating around in here. And that was our first home, $3,000 we paid for that. And it was on the ocean, which I didn't know anything about the ocean. Yes, I grew up in Minnesota, but it didn't matter. That was different water. And he had the guy that had the huge crane come out and he put these huge long logs underneath the float house to bring it up out of the water. We were that is a float house that's on a barge. And our home was 10 by 20 on the outside with a 5 by 5 bathroom on the back. And you know what? We lived fine. And we had, I'm trying to remember all this stuff. Oh, I know. We had let me tell you about our agua heater. We had a little agua heater that was about that high, and it was about that big around. And you put 3 or 4 little sticks of wood in, guess what? You have hot water in 5 minutes, and that's how it was. And we had a marine toilet, and we had a propane stove and lights as well. And we did fine. Seals were all around us, humpback whales with their cute little babies. And we also dealt with ornery otters who liked to steal anything from you, as well as they'd get under the float house and take the barnacles off. And I loved that sound, but it was new to me. And anyway, when we first got married, Dave was sent to East Coast for further training. And I was pretty sure that I could run the boat back out, because we're on the ocean, and I had to take it out of the harbor. So I started the boat up. It was a little cabin cruiser, so it was kind of small. And I started it up, and we parallel park along the docks. You've probably seen that if you've been around at all. You don't park like this way, you park this way. And so I started it up, and I was pretty sure I could do it. And I started to put it in gear, and I ran clear up on the back of this guy's boat in front of me. And I mean, oh my God. And I just didn't know anything about I thought I knew, but I didn't know. And all I could do was go, please, dear God. And it kind of slid back off into the water. I was able to have the presence of mind to tie it, around the cleat, jump out and check my boat and check this guy's boat, and also to see how many people were witness to that. I didn't want to be, okay, here we go. And so anyway, that was kind of my initiation. And so we ended up with our float house on Blanket Island, because there were 10 of us that bought that island property. We immediately subdivided it, and Dave and I lived there for 3 years, 4 years, and then we moved into town, and that's a whole other adventure, and I'm not going to tell you that. So that's the story of Float House Days. There's a lot more. It's all good. We're good. Thank you.
So those that have heard me play know that I've had a lifelong saying that between picking and grinning, I'm a lot better at grinning. And I haven't found anybody that contradicts me on that. But what you need to do if you're in the situation that I am is you find good musicians to play with if you get in a band, and they can make you sound a lot better than you really are. And so one of the musicians that did that for me for a number of years, actually there's 3 of them in this room, Nick Rivard and Mike Keys. And Mike and Cindy drove down from Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and he's going to mosey up this way and play on this guitar. So give a big hand for Mike Keith.
I'm actually even lazier than that. I like these chairs these days. Does this count against the 10 minutes, Bill?
No, you have 9 minutes.
Oh, thank you. That's good. Good. We're going to do a medley of Inagata DeVita and Alice's Restaurant for my first number. Bill says I can do 2 songs. I'll then do Desolation Row, Visions of Johanna. No. I'm going to save it for the very end. I'm going to do that stirring rendition that Bob did of that Chris Christopherson song. He did it with the child chorus. I hope you all remember that. They killed him. It's a beautiful song, not really. Not the way Bob did it anyway. But this it's an old traditional song, I guess. Well, I sent her a letter when I'd known better when I asked her to be my wife. Along come a fella and he hit me on my smelly and he almost took my life. But that gal, that's a pretty little gal, that's the gal I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks and curly hair, the girl I left behind me. Well, I rode head to the spot, she said, it's there you'll always see. I tell you true, when you come through, come back and you will find me. Boy, that gal, that's a pretty little gal, that's the gal I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks and the curly hair, the girl I left behind me. The monkey and the frog and the turtle and the dog and the chick and the weasel and the flea and the fuzzy raccoon and the ugly baboon, they all got a wife but me. Oh, that gal, she's a pretty little gal, that's the gal I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks, curly hair, girl I left behind. Last night I slept in the wind and the rain, it was terrible all around me. Tonight I sleep in a nice warm bed with the girl I left behind me. Oh, that gal, that's a pretty little gal, that's the gal I left behind me. Rosy cheeks and a curly hair, the girl I left behind me. Let's see. Shall we do a sing-along then, eh? Everybody likes a good sing-along. It's one of the great old folk songs here. It's it's a song from the rural areas, is it not? It's about that anyway. You all know it? If you don't, we'll go through the words. I have a few minutes left. I believe I only have the 2 songs, but I have maybe, oh God, it could be 3 or 4 minutes left. Down in the boondocks, down in the boondocks. You're not singing. Do you guys not know this song? So it's pretty easy. Let me help you. Let's try it all together. We'll speak it. Don't sing it. Don't sing it yet. Speak it. Down in the boondocks, please. Down in the boondocks. Yeah, that's not the first time you ever sang. And then the next line is similar. It's down in the boondocks. So we got 2 downs in the boondocks. Now this is where it gets tricky. How am I doing on time, Bill? Never mind, I haven't got time to hear it. I don't have time to find it. All right, down in the boondocks, we got that going. People put me down. Why? Because that's the side of town I was born in. And then just jump in from there on, because frankly, I can't remember how it goes until I sing it. Down in the boondocks, down in the boondocks, people put me down, that side of town I'm born in. I love her, she loves me, I don't fit her society. Lord have mercy on a boy from down in the boondocks. Well, every night I watch the light on the house upon the hill. Well, I love a little girl and she loves me, and I guess I always will. But I don't dare knock on her door. Your daddy is my boss man, and I will have to be content to see her whenever I can. Down in the boondocks, the boondocks. Whoa, people put me down. That's the side of town I'm born in. I love her, she loves me. I don't fit her society. Lord have mercy on a boy from down in the boondocks. And here's another part that's very easy at singing along, because the words are really simple. The words are, and they're very meaningful, especially in this day of strange times we live in. The words are, that's it. Oh, yeah. One fine day, I found a way to move from this old shack. I will hold my head up like a king. I never will look back till that morning hour break. I'll say one more time, but I will have to be content to see her one more time. Down in the boondocks, down in the boondocks, people put me down. That's the side of town I was born in. I love her, she loves me. I don't fit society. Lord have mercy on a boy from down in the boondocks. Lord have mercy on a boy from down in the boondocks.
God, I love folk music. Okay, we've got, coming up, we've got Kathy Peters is going to tell us a memory. Then we're going to have Steve Mason, Tom Page, and then Molly Smith. So Kathy's coming up this way now, and she's got visuals to share, it looks like.
I know many of you because I went to a really good party in 1973. A couple of people who were at that party are here in this room. My memory is, I'm from Wichita, and I became part of the Market Street Forum, which was a sister organization to the Foolkiller in 1973, because I went to the Woody Guthrie Memorial Benefit Concert at Wichita State University on May 4th, 1973, where among the performers were Steve Cormier, who you'll hear later. But when I went to the party after the concert, the women were dancing all over the house. Nobody was sitting there listening to people, except there were guys arguing in the corner, and there were people playing music, and people popping popcorn, and women dancing all over the house. So my friend Nancy Blindar, who I met that night, and I were dancing all over the house along with Tom Page's mother. Your father was not dancing all over the house, but I met Tom Page's mother and father, and Tom Page was the baby at that party. He says he's a Foolkiller baby, and he was. Linda Monger's daughter Amy was another Forum baby. Several years later, and I met many of the people from the Foolkiller over the years, but in 1979 I came up to the Utah Phillips Rosalie Sorrell's concert, St. Patrick's Day 1979, that was Steve Peters and my first date. I moved to Kansas City and got married 6 months later. I am where I am because of this party. Yeah.
Okay, Steve Mason is one of those amazing people that plays about every instrument, you know, and can actually make his own instruments while he's doing it. So I think the first time I heard him, I don't remember if this is true, but it seems like I do. You were playing 2 songs at once on the guitar. Did that ever happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it did. It was so hard to believe. I still wasn't sure that it really happened. But Steve has been part of the Alfred Packer Memorial Band and has been a luthier in mastering. Well,
Lawrence.
You tell your own story, Steve. The very talented Steve Mason. Give me a hand.
Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Start with the pretty one. The cats in the alley come down, off their trash cans they purr, and beat time with their tails, with their paws round each other. They sway as they sing the East Lawrence Waltz. A child of the 60s, his hair to his middle, his empty arms poised in waltz ballroom position, twirls his bare toes in the lawn to the East Lawrence Waltz. Fiddles and car horns and banjos and creaky old floors. Clapboards clap rhythm by slamming their shutters and doors. The onrush of time has been cruel to East Lawrence. Its houses are faded and gone out of fashion, but they creak their loose boards in the wind to the East Lawrence walls. 1, 2, 3, turn, step, twirl around, step, step, bow, slap your knee. 4, 5, 6, clown, step, twirl around, step, then come back to me. The moon through the windows, the corn in the gardens, the rabbits dodge Chevys, the squirrels chatter sagely as a stiff-legged possum stumps by to the East Lawrence waltz. Thank you very much. In the 60s, when everybody was looking for a new religion, my Presbyterian sister found Orthodox Judaism. And she went from our hometown, Ann Arbor, Michigan, to Skokie, Illinois, and finally wound up on the West Bank in Israel. And my mom, after a long life as a devout atheist, got to where her brains weren't working, and so she needed to move in with the oldest child. So my mother moved in to the West Bank in Israel. And after that, my wife and I were at a Ricky Skaggs concert And there were just too many songs about my mother's in heaven. And so this is for my mother. My mother's in hell for eating a lobster. She was out with her friends for a lunch by the shore. After thousands of years, God's new revelations, who knew that Leviticus rules still did apply? It wasn't a statement of moral proportions. She was out with her friends for a lunch by the shore. She meant no offense, she'd raised a fine family. It seems rather harsh, eternity and all. My mother's in hell for eating a lobster. She was out with her friends for a lunch by the shore. After thousands of years, God's new revelations, who knew that Leviticus rules still did apply? Okay, she ate shrimp and mixed meat and dairy. She loves a cheeseburger like everyone does. Okay, she said damn it, and damn it, she meant it. Who reads the book of Leviticus anymore? My mother's in hell for eating a lobster. She was out with her friends for a lunch by the shore. After thousands of years, God's new revelations, who knew that Leviticus rules still did apply? Who knew that Leviticus rules still did apply? 613 biblical rules still do apply. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have from our sister organization family, Tom Page, and he's making his way here. And we have been co-organizations for many, many, many years, and we knew Tom, and we knew his dad Tom as well. So he's going to come favor us with a couple of tunes. So big hand for Tom Page.
Chair, you want a chair? Yeah, I'll stand. Stand? Okay, all right. This one over here. Okay. Yeah.
Just right in here.
Yeah. You got both. Watch out.
All right. Come up here. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey.
It's great to be here. There were very few kids around, but it was a real pleasure to get to meet Fritz and Trad today. Following in the tradition of curiosity and inquisitiveness. It's again a pleasure to be here. I was thinking about a poem I should deliver here in memory of other Tom Page Sr. At one point, I was calling myself Tom Page the Younger because I was tired of being Little Tom. And he said, "What the hell do you think that makes me?" And yes, the elder, as it were. Oh, walking up the concrete streets in North Wichita on a hot summer Tuesday night. Hi-hat, doghouse, Tropics Lounge. Stop by and scope out the place and make sure everything's okay. We moved on to the Stick and Rudder where they've installed a claw machine. Act straight, keep your mouth shut, maybe we can make this sing, kid. Push forward to the Pirates Cove and perhaps we'll run into Jenks and get a ride home. So, really appreciate Steve's levity. I try to do a little fun song here for you about money management. I spent the rent on women, wine, and song. Spent the rent every greenback dollar got. I'm begging to my landlord, let me write a week or so. Oh, catch me before next Friday night, I swear I'll have a go. I spent the rent mostly shouting and carousing. Oh, all night long at the country money snow. Late night at a beer store, that fun don't come for free. Get 'em up shot by dawn, it's gonna be Monday morning for me. Now the gas bill and the light bill must be paid in full, you see. Landlord will not let it ride, he's got no sympathy. I spent the rent, now I'm down flat, broke and empty. Up in smoke, well, that's where all the good times go. Another week has come and gone, I don't have a dime to show. Pack up all my belongings, find my high times down the road. Hands on. Bill, is there time for one more quick one? Or am I done?
Yeah.
One more, eh? Okay. This is a little tribute to all the veterans I knew growing up, and any veterans you know and love or have known and loved. I send it out to them here with a little prayer for peace. Daddy came back from Iraq with a crack in his back, a terrible pain. Washed it all down with some scotch, knocks content, never quite right again. The lights along Broadway remind me of Christmas somehow. It's too bad you're not around. It's Saturday night in this plant town. Ronnie come home from night with home in his arm, a powerful pain. No matter how much debt will never forget all the things he had seen. The lights along Broadway remind me of Christmas somehow. Too bad you're not around. It's Saturday night in this packing plant town. Billy would tell from the tan, shattered reflection of who he once been. Down at his hamburger stand, tell her about what being a man meant to him. The lights along Broadway remind me of Christmas somehow. Too bad you're not around. Sit back and toss one more down. Saturday night in this packing plant town. in line after the flat pick guitar champions to be here with you guys. Thank you.
No, it's okay. Okay, so we're gonna just change it up just a little bit. We're gonna have a couple of more people on. Then I want to take about a 10-minute break, and then we're gonna set up to have Songwriters Circle. So some of you that are on the list that don't get on here will be on later, if that's quite all right. So we got started a little later than I wanted to, but right now we're going to go with one of our longtime Foolkiller friends and hangers-on, and she does her own house concerts and has been supporting the organization for years. So a big hand for banjo playing Molly Smith.
Hello, hello, hello. So this morning I woke up and my head was about half stopped up, and I was so hoarse I couldn't sing a note. And so I thought, oh boy, this is great. But after some throat spray and an ancient Chinese potion, no lie, and some honey and lemon and some hot coffee, I think I can make it through a song or two. If I make it through the first one, then I'll do a second one. So this is sort of a cowboy song. It was written by John Phillips of the Mamas and Papas, and a lot of people have covered it, but you don't really hear it very often. It's called My Uncle and Me. Me and my uncle came riding down from Colorado, West Texas bound, and we stopped off at Santa Fe, it being the place about halfway, and besides it was the hottest part of the day. We led our ponies into a stall, went to the bar, boys, bought drinks for all. 2 days in the saddle, my body hurt, it being summer, pulled up my shirt, and I tried to wash off some of that dusty dirt. West Texas cowboys all over town, with gold and silver they're loaded down, just back from roundup, well it seemed a shame, and so my uncle starts a friendly game. Now it's high-low jack and winner takes the games. From the beginning, Uncle starts to win. Them Texas cowboys, they's mad as sin. One says he's cheating, well that can't be, because my uncle, he's honest as me, and I'm as honest as a Denver gal can be. One Texas cowboy, he starts to draw. I grabbed a bottle, slapped him on the jaw. I shot another, he won't grow old. In the confusion, Uncle grabbed the gold, and we hightailed it down to Mexico. Now God bless cowboys and God bless gold. God bless my uncle and rest his soul. He taught me well, boys, taught me all I know. Taught me so well, boys, I grabbed the gold. And I left him lying there at the side of the road. Thank you. Major Dickinson's blend. So this song is, now this is the part where I'm supposed to say something sort of entertaining and distract your attention while I retune my banjo. And so that gets me about, that gets me about 95% of the way. But studies have shown the remaining 5% can take 3 to 5 minutes at a minimum. So there's my banjo joke, Bill. So this is a song that I wrote about my ancestors who homesteaded in the Ozarks. It's called Faded Pictures. Written there upon a stone is a name that's known to me, although I never knew her or shared her company. As I'm standing here today, she stood 100 years ago, looking down at other names that she and I would know. Faded pictures on the wall, a way of life that used to be, of the ones who came before, who gave this life to me. With their hands they made a home, with their dreams they found a way, with their hearts they carried on, that I might carry on today. Lying there by her side is a man who worked the land. I can still see traces of the labor of his hands. And he taught his children well as he rosined up his bow, and sang and played a song for them that one day I would know. Faded pictures on the wall, a way of life that used to be, of the ones who came before, who gave this life to me. With their hands they made a home, with their dreams they found a way, with their hearts they carried on, that I might carry on today. Did she like to cook and sew? Did she love to dance and sing? Did a smile crinkle up her eyes when she called her children's names? Just a story I have heard, just a photograph to see, but knowing those who knew them, now that story lives in me. Faded pictures on the wall, a way of found a way. With their hearts they carried on, that I might carry on today.
Leave it down. Like I said, leave it alone. I'm not setting it up the stage. Stop it, Claus, you're gonna break something. Okay, we keep changing the order of things, so just to let you know where we're at. Jan's gonna do it, Jan's gonna be up here, and then Virgil's gonna be up here, and then we're gonna take a 10-minute break, and then we're gonna set up to have Songwriter Circle, and I'll have after Jan and before Virgil, I'll have David come up and say a couple words about Songwriter Circle. Those that I have not gotten to, we're going to have some more open mic later on after Songwriter Circle, and also to in the open mic part of it, Shots in the Night Theater Group's going to do some comedy theater here somewhere around 4:15 or so, and you'll enjoy it because I'm in it. And I insist you enjoy it. Jan is one of those people who, has had a tremendous impact on my life, even though, she's probably never stopped to think about it that way. The way I got involved with Foolkiller, even though I've done a lot of music and I've done a lot of theater, was through the council we call the Theory Council. And her and Verl Muir and Tim Head and a number of other people, we did lots and lots of discussion groups through Community back in the day, and Jan was one of the forces on our Theory Council. But like the rest of us, she broadened her horizons to include music, and she's done theater and everything else. So big hand for one of our founding members, Jan Brown.
Okay, so most of you didn't know me if you knew me, you didn't know me as a banjo player. But this was my retirement project, to retire. And Molly, who you just heard from, is nice enough to give me a few lessons and then tell me I needed a better banjo. So finally I got a better banjo. But, and some of you don't know that Memorial Day weekend I fell down a flight of stairs and broke my arm and 3 broken bones in my toe and had a brain bleed. And spent about 5 days in the ICU, and so I'm doing much better. I'm alive, and anyway, so I've only been able to play this again for like a week, and so I practiced 3 songs. I'm only going to do 2 for you now, and anyway, I'm trying. This one is. I was in a jam session for a little while until the leader of it decided to turn it into a class and tried to teach us stuff, and we spent the entire month of March working on one song, and so I left, but they called this I was the only banjo player for a while in the group, and they called this my theme song, so this is Banjo Pickin' Girl. Molly's going to go think, God, I shouldn't have told you where you were, I was your teacher. Well, I'm going around this world, babe of mine. Well, I'm going around this world, babe of mine. Well, I'm going around this world, I'm a banjo picking girl. I'm going around this world, babe of mine. Well, I'm going to Arkansas, babe of mine. I'm going to Arkansas, babe you ain't got no money, baby mine. If you ain't got no money, better find another honey, 'cause I'm going around this world, baby mine. Yes, I'm going around this world, baby mine. I'm going around this world, baby mine. I'm going around this world, I'm a banjo picking girl. I'm going around this world, baby mine. And I thought this one was really fitting for this occasion. It's by Ola Belle Reed, called High on a Mountain. Thinking about the days I used to be. High on a mountain, standing all alone, wondering where the years my life have flown. As I look at the valley down below, it's green just as far as I could see. My memories return, for you and the things that used to be. High on a mountain, wind blowing free, thinking about the way life used to be. High on a mountain, standing all alone, wondering where the years my life have flown. Oh, I wonder if you ever think of me. Or is time blotted out your memory? As I listen to the breeze whisper gently through the trees, shall always cherish what you meant to me. High on a mountain, wind blowing free, thinking about the way life used to be. Standing all alone, wondering where the years my life have flown.
One thing I would never have probably done in life if I hadn't started coming around the Foolkiller was writing plays. But I came around and Foolkiller was doing original plays by Don St. Clair and some other playwrights. And the next person to come up to end this set also wrote some plays. And I thought, well, if they can do it, I can at least give it a try. And so it's enriched my life greatly, and I'm going to introduce Virgil Thorpe, who goes back, I go back to 1974, and he was here when I arrived, so I'll let him say anything more he wants to say about himself. And what we're going to do after this is we're going to take an intermission. Now there are some soft drinks and water. Any funds you want to donate to KKFI, the drinks are free as long as you donate some money to KKFI. No, get a pop or get a water, but if you could donate to KKFI. There's a money jar there to do that. Again, they help carry on our culture. Foolkiller Folk Radio has been on for 35 years, so carrying on the tradition of the kind of music we do. So my very good longtime friend Virgil Thorpe.
Thank you very much. Thanks. First things first, I want to thank whoever put this together. I think it's Bill and Judy. Magnificent show. I just enjoyed myself so much last night at Bob and Diana's. What wonderful hospitality they always have shown. I'm looking forward to tomorrow at John and Clara's for the cookout. And that's one thing about this place that give them a big hand, please. But hopefully I can read my writing, because last night after that party, I tried to go to sleep and I just couldn't. Or maybe I did go to sleep, and I woke up and I started writing down things that just were flooding in my head of remembrances. And the Foolkiller is something that I stumbled into. And I was a student of Don St. Clair's, and he said, come on down to Foolkiller, you might like it. So I went down to Foolkiller, and the first night there was a play called Revolution South of 69th. And I was there a little early. I got there, and I looked at the building, and I went, oh, kind of rustic, isn't it? But I was early. Went and sat down behind a guy who was in the front row, and he turned around. We started chatting, and we had a lot in common. He liked Bob Dylan, and I liked Bob Dylan too. Then other people started coming in, and pretty soon the pews were filled up with people. St. Clair got on stage, made a few announcements, started the show. The lights went out, and I got to tell you, that light booth was more of kind of like a rat's nest up there. But the lights came on, and there was a revolutionary committee who had a revolution in Kansas City. And they were talking about the mayor and the city manager and how they were going to execute them. And all of a sudden, Bob, sitting in front of me, jumps, prior to Bob, Michelle St. Clair stood up, and she is dressed to the nines. And she's portraying a matron from Prairie Village and her revolutionary council. And then she sat down, and another person jumped up, and he was from the Toolbox, which was the gay revolutionaries. And suddenly, Bob Sukio jumps up and starts yelling about the third world. There's nothing, you don't include the third world, it's not a true revolution. He takes off his boot, he starts slamming the stage, just like Nikita Khrushchev slammed his shoe on the United Nations. And I thought to myself at that point, this could be a place I could just fit in real well. And after that was over, we went to Gunker's Garage for the after party, and I found out that I fit in perfectly. And I appreciated the idea of crude vigor over polished finality. And we encouraged everyone to participate some way, somehow. The community classes, we would bring in people who had never been on the stage before and get them up on stage, and before you knew it, they were having as good a time as we did. And the avant-garde Western was a genre that we tried to get our messages across with. I remember on a play called, one of my favorites, that St. Clair wrote, The Magic of Little Elmer, about a young man and his worm. That was quite an interesting play. At one point, The young man who portrayed the young man had to run out of off the stage, through the door to the lobby, go outside the building, come around down into the alley in order to get to the stage left from stage right. And because at that point in time, he was just down to his light powder blue shorts, and being in that kind of neighborhood, the cops saw him. And we just had to do our best to keep from getting Dale Holland to have to go to jail that night. And I got to into the plays. I just enjoyed myself on that. I remember this one part that I had. I played the Roto-Rooter Man. Sam the Man. I'm Sam the Man, the Roto-Rooter Man. I can root the goop out of your chute quicker than a willow whistle in June, so's you can go by the light of the moon. And Sam the Man had this song. In the Biffy, you can get there in a jiffy, where it thunders and it crashes, where you hear them great big splashes, as the burden of your bowels rolls away, rolls away. That was one of St. Clair's best ones. And,
humor.
yeah, well, we did that too, and everybody. But let me see here. The stage was singular. Well, we had so many great musicians come. We had people like Mike Seeger, Faith Petrie, Mary McCaslin, Jim Rayner. We had Glenn Orland and Kay Orland. And our great house musicians, if you want to call them that. John Blessing. Gosh, can anybody play a guitar better than John Blessing? And besides, we have Bob, Sukio, and Diana. And, if I know, I won't remember everybody, Steve Peters and such. But also, we had other musicians come in, and some of them weren't really familiar with the Foolkiller atmosphere so much, and they would be their folk music singers. And because of the genre, there's always an explanation for a song. And this one night, this one fellow had a song about birds migrating here and there. And he told the story, and it took forever. And of course, he'd be tuning his guitar and stuff, which, you know, we all like Mary McCaslin. If everybody wanted to hear tuning for an hour and a half, you'd get Mary McCaslin. But he also had another song about a puppy dog playing in the splash of the sun in a glen. And I just kind of went, oh man, I can't take much more of this. So I wrote this song that goes like this. I'm a sensitive folk musician. I sing sensitive songs. I'll keep singing in this tradition, just so the intro's long. Sing you a song about a black canary, sing you a song about peace, to show you that I ain't no fairy, I got a song about geese. Oh, I'm sensitive so, ooh-wee, kick me in the knee. Please, please, one more song. It's only got an intro, half an hour long. All of my songs are based on suffering. Puppy dogs playing in the glen. Migrating flocks and their wide traveling. A goose is a man's best friend. I'm a sensitive folk musician. I sing sensitive songs. I'll keep singing in this tradition, just so the intro is long. Thank you.